Hey, this is Dan from Max Bows. Today we're going to be doing that build along. We're going to do a long bow, a Mogabet style, and yeah, I'll show you what I've done so far, and we'll go from there. Now it's a longbow, like I said, a Mogabet style. Now this is the static limb. 15 inches of it doesn't bend, going into 15 inches that does bend, and into the riser, which is 8 inches, and 4 inches for the center part of the handle, and then 2 inches on each side for a fade. And let me show you what I've done so far. This is what the other side is going to look like when it's done. The basic shape will be cut out, and then we're going to reduce it from this thickness down to about here, all the way up to the fade in the handle, and we'll bring it back up to its original thickness. I'm using hickory. I like hickory. It's a good wood, strong, very resilient, and we'll cut it out the other side and go from there. I like using a rasp to get down into the corners, because trying to do it with the draw knife, can never get it directly into the corners correctly. You always round it or gouge it. So I use a rasp for the other part. down to the line. Still leaves us a little bit of room to work with, just in case we make a mistake. Now I'm going to flip it over and do the other side. I like to work the angles, not go straight in. Because if you go straight in, you're going to have to apply a lot of force in order to go against the wood. I like to work with the wood and cut on its weaknesses. It's easier to shave it down at an angle and then take off a little bit to make it flat. Unless you can find the right grain and go with it all the way down to the end. But it's also risky doing that, because sometimes the grains, they pivot down in, and unless you read the grains right, you're going to crack the end and mess up your whole bow. Or you'd have to shorten it down and do some more calculations to make it come out right, but then it's best to go with what works. See? Follow the grain. Was able to get a chunk off. Get another chunk. Another chunk. Down to the line. And just level it up. Moving so I can see that I haven't crossed my line. And now I'll go back up here, work this a little bit more. Working with a draw knife, it's all about angling it. If you want to take more off, dig in. If you want to take a little bit off, then you just ride with it with a slight tilt. And as you get more comfortable with it, you'll feel more comfortable about taking off some gouges. I'll use the files just like I did on the other end, and we'll see what we're working with. I like to go in at an angle just to get it all set, and then we'll go with it. I'm going to use a little bit more of an aggressive one. line right there. So let's just take this corner off. Go a little bit less aggressive. When you're using files and rasps, you want to slightly move in gauges. Start with an aggressive one if you think that that's what's needed. Then you slowly taper down to a less aggressive, and then to a file, and then a fine file, then sandpaper. Okay, almost there. Another good thing to do is to balance it out with the file. Go one way for a little while, then change directions for a minute. So it kind of evens the grooves out, so it's easier to smooth out. Because if not, you're going to be sitting there a long time with the file, trying to take out the grooves that you left with the rasp. Now let's go ahead and see how we did. All right, here's what we just did. And then now we will be ready to take it down from right here to about right there. But we'll do that in the next video. This is Dan from Max Bows. Thank you for watching. And any comments, please leave them below. Thank you and have a good day.